So, hello, Nyla. Story time with Zai. So today, now, we're going to read the storybook, picture storybook, Phoebe and the Hot Water Bottles, story by Terry Furchgott and Linda Dawson. Pictures by Terry Furchgott. So Phoebe has a collection of hot water bottles, and so do I. So Nyla, these are my favorite water bottles. Well, I've got these. I think these are my only ones. I do have more covers, so I quite like this guy. Let's move the storybook. So this is what a water bottle looks like, and they're really good. You fill it up here, and you open the lid. Oh, there's some water. And you fill it up and you pour it straight into there. If you pour here, it will splash back at you. The water bottles are really good for keeping you warm at night, but you do have to be careful. And when you're pouring in the hot water from the kettle, you have to pour it straight into there. And then when you close the lid, you have to close it very tight because you don't want it to come out. Otherwise, it'll be hot water and it'll burn you. So you have to be very, very careful. But they will keep the bed very, very warm the whole night through. So this is one of my favorite water bottles. It looks, what is that? I would say that's a sheep, a sleeping sheep. It's woolly and fluffy. That's one of my favorite. This is my tiny water bottle. It's a tiny one. It's really cute. I quite like this color. Reminds me of my dad. He used to wear a jumper. This would have holes in it, but he'd love to wear that jumper. And it was this color. So that is your grandfather. So what would you call your grandfather? Babaji. Yeah, Babaji. My dad used to love wearing this jumper, this color jumper, and so I quite like this one. It's a tiny one. If you can see the difference between the next one. This is my other favorite one. It's got a fox on it. F-O-X. So that's another hot water bottle. And you can see the difference. You see the difference? There's that. Yeah. So, and one more. This is my newest one that I just bought. It's a bumblebee and it says happy. And I quite like this side. This is my favorite thing. Love this. So soft and woolly. So this is brand new. Well, I've used it once. So that's a bumblebee. That is my hot water bottle collection. And now, make sure that it's dry. We start the story. Story time with Zai for Nyla. Phoebe and the Hot Water Bottles. Story by Terry Furchgott. This is one of those other books that we bought from a school fete. You can see it was a library book, public library book, and they cancelled it. It means that they no longer wanted to put it into circulation and to let people borrow it. Somebody must have bought it, and I bought it. Well, I bought it from a school fete. Phoebe and the Hot Water Bottles. This is definitely one of my favorite books because I like hot water bottles too. This book was first published in 1977, which makes it old. So would it be almost 50, maybe about 48 years old or something like that? Yep, 48 years old. And I think it's a book that's based, a story in England. Yeah. So look at all her collection. Look at her puppy. Phoebe and the Hot Water Bottles. Once there was a little girl called Phoebe Beaverbee. She lived with her father, Mr. Beaverbee, the chemist, above the chemist's shop. Mr. Beaverbee was a very busy man. Sometimes when Phoebe came home from school or on Saturdays, she offered to help him with the housework or in the shop. But he always said to her, "Oh, no thank you, Phoebe. You'd be sure to burn the beans or That's very nice of you, Phoebe, but you might give the wrong change to someone or put things in the wrong place. Now run away and play, and I'll be up soon to give you your tea. In England, tea is like what they say for give you your dinner or your breakfast or your lunch. So give you your tea. So Mr. BBB has a chemist shop, and you can see they're on the balcony having dinner, lunch. So yep, it's lunchtime because it's closed between 1:30 and 2:30. So chemists are also called drugstores in America, or apothecaries, or like Chemist Warehouse or Watson's, just any place you can get a prescription. So for medication, so prescriptions, toiletries, I don't know what that is, chemicals. So, and then a long time ago in chemists, they used to have like a big weighing machine thing that you could weigh yourself, and they used to have it in Singapore too. There was one in City Plaza. Really, you put 5 cents or 10 cents, and then it would spit out your weight, and it would actually give you like a fortune as well. I loved it. That was in City Plaza. So they live in a chemist shop. Wow, look at this. So what do they sell in the chemist shop? Looks like, I don't know, what's that? Candles, detergent, lollies, tissue boxes, all kinds of stuff. So even though she couldn't help in the shop, Phoebe loved to look at all the things on the shelves and counter. There were toothbrushes and toothpaste, soaps of different shapes and sizes, all kinds of wonderful perfumes to smell, lipsticks, powders and mirrors, bottles full of beautifully colored medicines and ointments, and hot water bottles. Phoebe knew a lot about hot water bottles. When I go to chemists, I love looking at soaps and shower gels. And what else do I like? I like looking at vitamins. And what else do I like looking? I look at like hair accessories. I like those chemist shops as well. Because ever since she could remember, her father had given her one for Christmas and on her birthday, and every time she had been extra especially good. So every special occasion, her dad would give her a hot water bottle. By the time she was 7, Phoebe Beaberby had 157 hot water bottles. Oh my goodness. How many did I show you? 4. She's got quite a collection. So Phoebe, she took them for walks. She gave them baths. She nursed them when they were ill. They got band-aids and bandages. She had tea parties with them. Oh, that's funny. She occasionally treated them to a pantomime. Wow, she'd take them to a show, like a drama or a musical. She took them to the zoo. Wow. Instead of a teddy bear or a puppy like I've got, she's taking her hot water bottles to the zoo. Wow, she taught her hot water bottles how to swim. That's funny. Look at the lifeguard. It's like, what? And everybody else is just having fun and playing. And made sure that they had a good education. Look, she's teaching her hot water bottles. 1 + 2, 3. Cat, C-A-T. Dog, D-O-G. When Phoebe went to bed at night, she was the warmest little girl in the world. Oh, she'd be very warm. Very, very warm. Her very favorite hot water bottle was one shaped like a puppy. It even had ears she could wiggle, because deep down, what Phoebe wanted more than anything else in the world was a real live puppy. Hot water bottles may be very useful and even fun, but they can never run in the park with you or lick your nose, and no matter how much you love them, they can never love you back. Phoebe had asked her father for a puppy several times, but he always said, "I'm sorry, Phoebe, you're simply too young to look after it, and I'm too busy to help you. Now go and play with your toys, and we'll see about it when you're older." September. Look, how cute. Her dad is making her sunny side up eggs, or maybe he's making that for himself, who knows. But he's wearing a really cute apron. He looks adorable. What's the time? It looks like it's going to be 9 o'clock. She's just had boiled egg. I don't like boiled eggs. I like sunny side up. So Phoebe kept on wishing for a puppy every time she saw a new moon or a shooting star or got the large half of a wishbone. On those special present-giving days, she wished extra hard, but every time her father thought to himself, "I know just what Phoebe would like," and gave her another hot water bottle. How many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 candles. One night, Mr. Beaverby went out to deliver some medicine. Phoebe was peeking through her bedroom curtains, waiting for him to come back, when she felt her nose twitching. She sniffed once and then again. Something was burning. It's my favorite thing to see the crescent moon in the night sky. How cute. Look at her cute nightie. It's adorable. So Phoebe jumped out of bed and, not even stopping to put on her slippers, ran out of her room to the top of the stairs. Looking down, she saw flames and smoke. The shop was on fire. She called to her father, then remembered he was not there. Phoebe realized she would have to put out the fire by herself. Oh dear, there's smoke and fire. Dashing back to her room, she grabbed her hot water bottles, all 157 of them, and lugged them out to the landing. Down the stairs, one by one, she emptied them onto the flames until the fire was out. Look, she's putting out the fire. Goodness, what a brave little girl. Just then, Mr. Beaverby came back. Seeing the shop in such a state, he was very frightened and rushed up to Phoebe to make sure she was all right. Then they sat down and she told him what had happened. He was absolutely delighted with her. "You saved our home and the chemist's shop," he said proudly. "I can see now that you really are old enough to take care of things by yourself. Even though it's not your birthday, I think you deserve a present." Look, she saved the shop. But you know, if there's a fire and there's smoke, what do we call? Well, in Australia, we would call 000 000. In Singapore, I think it might be 999, or is it 000? In America, the United States, it's 911, and in Korea, it's 119, something like that. So it's always better to call emergency services like the fire services and you say, "Hello, I can smell smoke and there's fire. Please, I need assistance." And then you give them the address and then they will come, and the firefighters, you try and run away, escape out of where the fire is. So that's probably better than you fighting the fire. But Phoebe is very brave. But yeah, I would say better to call the experts in the emergency services, and they will put out the fire, and try and get away if you can from where the fire is, and wake everybody up. Say, wake up, there's a fire. So Phoebe's dad asked, would you like a goldfish? He asked. Phoebe shook her head. No. Would you like a kitten? Phoebe shook her head again. No. He glanced at the floor. You don't want another hot water bottle, do you? Phoebe shook her head really hard. No. Mr. BBB looked at her with a twinkle in his eye. Would you by any chance like a puppy? Oh, yes, please, cried Phoebe. That's what I would really love. And the very next day, when Phoebe came home from school, there on the floor in her room was a basket. And inside the basket was the most beautiful puppy you could ever imagine. How cute. The end. Phoebe and the Hot Water Bottles story by Terry Furchgott. Bye-bye. Love you lots.